Yo everybody, this is Rock with Great, aka The Toy Book, and in today's video I'm coming to you with another quick, 5-minute craft. Last year in July, I started this big, huge diorama from the Joker Playhouse Funhouse, his warehouse basically, Ace Chemicals. So instead of just turning this barrel into a generic painted barrel, I wanted to make this into an Ace Chemicals barrel. We're gonna keep this simple. I'm hoping this is a 5-10 minute diorama tutorial thing. Anyone could do this, so just follow along with me and let's have fun. This is gonna turn into a Ace Chemicals Gotham City barrel for the Joker warehouse that may never be finished. Let's get right to it. So first off, with any project where you're gonna paint stuff like plastic, you're always gonna wanna wash it off and maybe even sand it. I usually don't do that, but for this project it has a sticker and it's the slime, so I just wanted to wash it, and so the craft came out even easier, even though I never usually take all those precautions that diorama people usually tell you. Now this is cool. This black stuff that was in this slime container could be used for really cool Venom shots. Just a heads up there, you could always use your crafts for other things, never forget that. And remember, the craft is fun, you could always use things for other stuff. Now, this barrel had a very pesky sticker. It didn't want to come off, so I was using my old toothbrush. I usually keep one around for action figures when you want to customize and paint them. You want to get in every crevice with the toothbrush and some soap. So that's a little tip for you guys if you didn't know that. But so I was just scrubbing as much as I could, and then I realized, you know what, barrels are usually all dirty, and so I didn't get all the sticker stuff off, and I think it actually worked out in the end, and it gave the barrel a little bit of texture. So again, with stuff that's supposed to look dirty, it's really good for beginners and people just coming into the craft, that it'll add to your craft. It'll make it look more realistic and not so smooth and clean and plastic. Now once you have the item sanded and the sticker removed, you're going to want to paint it. Now I have a whole video on the spray paint that I use. I use Rust-Oleum 2X. You can find it at any Walmart. It's my favorite brand. I'm sure you could use other brands, but this is my favorite brand that I would recommend. I have a whole video on that, so you want to go check that out. Look up spray painting dioramas on my channel, you could see it. I wasn't trying to be neat with it, I just was doing it all over crazy. Again, these are old barrels, they're going to be chipped, they're going to be messy, they're not even going to be fully painted, so I had no problem with that. Also, I used a gloss spray paint, which I wouldn't recommend using gloss. I dull it down later on. I would use a flat normally, but this color only came in gloss, and it was what I had in my closet, so I went with this color. And now again, I have a whole video on paper accessories, so I won't go into detail with them. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I do have a whole video explaining it. I printed these out, I made this, and I printed a few sizes. That's your best way, so you never know what size you want. So I printed a few sizes out to see which one worked best. I like how this looked, and all you gotta do is you use a little bit of Mod Podge to stick this on, or you use some Elmer's glue. I use either one when I'm putting paper accessories onto my dioramas. So I usually don't Mod Podge my items until they're finished to seal them anymore. Some people, you could seal them throughout each step, but I just think it's just extra steps and extra, it's just extra steps for no reason. And so, but I was sticking on the Ace Chemicals thing with the Mod Podge this time instead of the Elmer's glue, so I just decided, once I put the printed paper on the item, I wound up just Mod Podging the rest of the item. So I had to wait for that to dry. That usually takes the longest. But you don't need to do that. You could just put Elmer's glue for the paper and then just wait to the end and Mod Podge it. But that's a step that's up to you wherever you feel like you want the project to go. Now once the canister is dry, this is the fun part. Weathering it is up to you. There's all different ways to weather. Again, when weathering, just keep it very light paint and a lot of water, because you could always add. You could do multiple things. I keep it very light, just have a little bit of paint or the paint cup, and you just make it look natural. You usually go from top to bottom, like top to bottom strokes, like that's what the rain would pour down on and stuff. And weathering, once you get the hang of it, you're always afraid at first that you're gonna mess something up, but then again, like most of this stuff is supposed to be old and worn, and you really can't mess it up. So just go crazy. And again, I have a full video on weathering on my channel, so if you need an in-depth, look, definitely check that video out. And now, last but not least, I could have been finished with just putting the logo and weathering it, but I wanted to add a little bit of zing and add those famous Joker ha's. I didn't want to put graffiti on this because I don't think anyone has the balls to go into Joker's warehouse to graffiti stuff, but I do see him yelling at his goons to draw ha 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 on the canisters just for the aesthetic, because I feel like Joker's all about the aesthetic. So these were really fun to do. Again, you can't mess these up, and I really believe the green and the red, it just makes it pop, and it just makes you feel like it's in world, you're in Gotham, and you're looking at some Joker canisters, and you're in for a treat. And that's it. This was a fast, fun, easy project that's cheap and affordable that anyone could do. I encourage everyone to go out there and do the barrel and maybe customize it yourself and do barrels for whatever you want, and tag me because I'd like to see it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and stay tuned for more. Definitely hit the subscribe button, and stay great, guys. Peace. Do you like toy photography? Do you like tricks and tips? Then follow me over at the Toy Bookie on Instagram. Are you into art? Graphic design? Sexy Rocco? Follow me at Rocco the Great. Bye.